Hey everybody, just here, going to show you the unboxing of my supercharger kit from Hyde Motorworks and also the supporting components that Hyde suggested that I buy. The first thing is the bypass valve. They told me to buy this so I could recirculate any extra air back to the intake, just kind of like a blow-off valve per se, as in cars with turbos. So that's one by Turbo Smart. I also got the Turbo Smart boost gauge, which came with this line and this bracket mounting. I will be running this to the intake or intake manifold. It comes with this little sunshade, but I also have this. I'm still deciding if I want to run this. It's just a little side piece. It goes on the A pillar of the cars. So basically, shove this in there. And obviously you want to straighten it out. You don't want to pop it out like that. But yeah, just like that. Basically, if I want to run it on the A pillar, if I don't, and let's say I want to just run it on above my steering wheel, I just throw this shade on, put it on, mount it, all set with that. Those are the two things that they suggested for me to buy to complete everything with the supercharger kit. Turbo line. This is for the boost gauge. Sorry, the boost gauge for the line. I'm possibly thinking of getting a different type of hosing, just because I know that these are somewhat kind of cheap. And there is better hosing to have. It doesn't come off easily or anything like that. Here's the brackets and mounting if I want to use that. From Turbo Smart. Everything from Turbo Smart is very affordable. I bought those myself. I was not sent those or anything. That's just a suggestion from Hyde. So let's open up this, and I'm gonna pull out piece by piece, just go over every single piece and try to clear up if anyone has questions in the videos, they can be answered hopefully. So first thing first, we got some stickers. Okay. Hyde Motorworks, reliable supercharged performance. I'm gonna put the sticker to the side for now. This is the sticker that goes on the supercharger itself. This is the Harbinger supercharger kit. It's just a little sticker overlay. It goes around. I'll show you the supercharger at the end. This is the hold on. This is the belt for the supercharger. So this supercharger kit runs off of the power steering pump. They have a extra pulley where you remove the 3 bolts from the power steering pump, put the pulley over the original one, bolt it down, and then you can run this off of that. It does come with 2 other pulleys. This is a tooth belt, so there doesn't need to be a lot of tension, because oh, here's the pulley right here. It's because you can see the pulley has this little teeth, and you don't need a lot of tension for it. Very little tension. But you just want to make sure that it's on there and that it's not going to slip or anything. And so, let me put the belt away. This is the pulley. It's very well made. It's very solid. It's very thick. I will probably have to upgrade my power steering pump pulley to a metal one because it is plastic original. They're kind of cheap, the plastic ones from BMW, so it's better to upgrade it to a metal one as well, just so it more solid. You want to make sure nothing happens. So here's the pulley. It will be facing just like that on there. I'll put that to the side. Here's one of the mounting points for the supercharger. This goes from the Vanos. There's a bolt with thread and then a nut that goes right over. You will put this right there, and this hooks up to the supercharger. So from valve cover to supercharger, it goes over the oil filter housing, goes over the power steering reservoir, goes over everything. I will have to relocate the power steering reservoir for this supercharger kit, because since it sits right there in that area, which is no problem. I will have to do the relocation myself. I will record how I do it, just in case anyone who is interested in getting this supercharger kit, they can, and they can see how it's done. So I'll put this away. And it looks like there's actually a pamphlet in here. Let's get you supercharged. From Hyde Motor Works themselves. It just goes over all the different types of supercharger kits. And you know what they go for, what they believe in, which is great. I do have a discount code. I will get that code and hopefully put it in the bio below, so you guys can, if anyone's interested, they can use that discount code. It should take off about, I believe, 10-15%, which is about shipping and a little more, which is, you know, everything helps. Here's a card from them saying thank you for purchasing one of our superchargers, installation guide, and also post your bill. I am sponsored by them, so I will be posting videos with them and such. This next part are the pulleys. The pulleys and bearings. Let me see if I can pull one out, just so you can see. Pretty much OEM stuff. Great OEM stuff. The parts they use is great. They don't want to cheap out or anything. They want to make sure they use quality stuff. Here's one of the pulleys right here. Great bearing, great pulley. It comes with 3. 2 are for the supercharger, and the third one, I believe, it's just to replace one of the OEM pulleys for the serpentine belt. And here we go, another bracket. This is another bracket for the supercharger. So this, I believe, goes over the alternator. Boom, goes right over it. This is just the mounting points. I believe this one mounts to the lower bolt of the alternator, upper bolt of the alternator. What's nice about this kit is that you can throw this on, other than having to remove the bell on the serpentine belt for the for this bracket and to put the other pulley on the power steering pump. It does not affect the serpentine belt at all. You can run your stock serpentine belt and still don't have to change belt sizes, don't have to change pulleys. The belt for the supercharger kit is about, if this is the alternator right here, serpentine belt, basically the timing belt goes in front of the serpentine belt. So it doesn't affect any of the OEM stuff. So it's very secluded to itself. You don't have to worry about having to change things. So this is for that. Threads, this is to mount the other bracket. All these pieces are very well made. They go through a great deal of craftsmanship, making sure everything is done nicely. Hyde has multiple supercharger kits and kits that you use multiple superchargers on them. This one is obviously just a specific one that they wanted to make. They have multiple ones, like they use one from a GT500 Ford. They have one that you can use a Toyota supercharger from the Lotus and such. And they have so many different options and all budget friendly for sure. Here is an intake boot. This is from the supercharger outlet to a pipe, where I'll show you right after this. It goes to the pipe, which goes to another elbow like this that goes to the throttle body. So supercharger outlet, boot, pipe, boot, throttle body. Very well made. This kit is the silicone kit. It does come with every Harbinger kit as of this past month. Every kit would come with them. They do not charge extra for it anymore. And here's another bracket. This was another bracket for the mounting and everything. It's a smaller one. Let's put that to the side. And here's the other intake boot that I was telling you guys about. Both of them work together. One is slightly bigger than the other. One does have a bigger outer inner diameter on one side. I think this is the smaller one. And you just want to make sure you put the correct one on, just so that it seals right around the lip and clamps down correctly. Because then if not, you'll have boost leaks. Here's another intake boot. This is MAF. One of these is the MAF. I believe it's this one. Supercharger. Down here, one will be for the bypass valve that would go to the pipe as well, I will show you in just a minute. And this goes to the ICV. So one's for the ICV, one's for the bypass valve. And very solid, very quality, good quality. And here we got the pipe. Let me open up the pipe for you guys. I have to tear it a little bit. Perfect. I'm just gonna put that away. That trash bag right there. Here's the pipe. So this is the elbow, supercharged elbow to pipe, and this goes to the throttle body. This is for the bypass valve. This would go to the bypass valve, and then go to back to the intake boot, just for like any extra air recirculation back into the system, recirculate everything. And then the ICV, it comes with a large hose. I believe it's somewhere. I think it might have been in the other box, possibly, on accident. But the large hose would go cut it, and you can use it for the bypass valve, ICV as well. So it's very helpful. Here we have the spacers for the supercharger kit. You have two of the same right here. One that looks like a washer, and then a very small one, and then a big one. All this is shown in the supercharger kit installation guide. Where to put everything, all the little pieces. Don't want to lose any of the pieces. Here are the extended and extra bolts for these two, for the pulleys, for the supercharger. All the extra bolts, very heavy duty bolts, because you want to make sure everything's tight and held down. These are all the clamps. So all the clamps that we see here for all the intake hoses, pipes, and even the small ones. Let me put these back in here. And this is a little pipe, just in case you gotta cut it. Obviously you can't run a rubber intake hose to a rubber one. So this would go in here. I believe the other bots that I have might have the long one, so I had to check. But then the long one would go into here. And I have another metal coupling, go into there and run it, hook everything up. It's very solid, it grips really nice to ensure no boost leaks. And now, we'll get to the supercharger. So let me open this up. So here's the supercharger. A little heavy for one hand. With two hands is not too bad. So inside here, if you can see, there's a teeth right here. This is for the belt to grab onto. In the installation guide, I do have to cut off maybe like an inch, half an inch in, and then cut it down to make room for the belt. This cover comes off very easily, luckily, so I don't have to cut it like that. I take off these 3 bolts, then I can trim that little extra off to ensure the belt doesn't rub or anything. This is the inlet of the supercharger on this side. It's very nice, spins very freely. The blade is made of a great quality. Superchargers are great quality overall. So there's that. Put this cover back on, make sure nothing goes in there and damages any of the blades. Here's the outlet, like I told you. So this supercharger technically will sit somewhat like this in the face of the motor. So this goes to the throttle body, and then the behind goes to the MAF, to this. And the oil filter housing will be right here, alternator right here below, and the timing belt would go down to the power steering pump. This is a very small supercharger setup. It's to give you any extra space that you need. It is very good at keeping track of space, making sure that you don't need a lot of space to do anything. This kit you can run without an intercooler, which is cool. You could run an intercooler if you want more power, more boost, but this is perfect if you just want to run direct supercharger to throttle body, and you get a good, I think about 330 up to around 380, possibly 400 if you can tune it nice enough. But with that, you'll most likely need a intercooler. Let's put this back. This supercharger kit is does have a grease bearing on the inside, so there's no reason to run any oil lines or anything of that matter. It's self-sealed in there. You don't have to worry about it running dry or anything. It is rated for a certain RPM and also a certain amount of boost and power. I believe this supercharger can run to about I believe, don't quote me on this, 10 to 12 psi of boost before you have to redo the bearing, reseal it and everything to run more boost. But this supercharger kit is rated on a stock engine from 330 horsepower to 450 horsepower. And for a supercharger kit where you had to do very minimal stuff, that is about half the price of any other supercharger kit. The kit itself ranges from 2,000 to 2,300, and then the supercharger itself, because you could buy this from somewhere else, it ranges from 600 to 900. So to get this whole kit, it's about 3,000 the most, with shipping and everything. And you know, with my discount code, you can get about 10 to 15% off. And then on top of that, these big name companies that have superchargers as well, those can range new. This is a new kit also as well, about 5,000 to 8,000. I mean, and those are very limited power. Sometimes you have to buy a lot of extra components to get even close to as much as you want. This kit's very affordable, very reliable. They use these on a lot of their track cars. They have multiple kits where if you don't want as much boost, or if you do want a lot more boost, there's one that does up to 700 horsepower, which is, I think this GT500 supercharger. And I believe that kit is about 4,000 to 5,000. I mean, when are you gonna find a kit $4,000 to $5,000 that can give you 700 horsepower? You know, up to 700. Same with this one, up to 450 horsepower, which will be more than enough in my 318 Ti California edition, which has the M54 B30 motor and 6-speed manual. I'm hoping for about 330 the minimum mark to 380 the most. I'm hoping to get in that range for horsepower and torque. This is a very simple kit, very affordable, and height is very great. And then there's still making kits today. They have a supercharger kit that mounts in place of the AC compressor. And to think that something that you can use OEM mounting points, you don't have to relocate anything, move anything, and it works with headers, equal length headers, long tube headers, shorty headers. It'll work with all of them, and they have made great power with those as well. I believe that one ranges from the same amount as this, 350 to 450 for that one. And they're just making great kits. At the cheapest you can buy a kit without the supercharger is about $1,000. And I believe that uses the Toyota, a Toyota supercharger, and you can't beat the price. And that one, I believe that one ranges from 250 to 400, which you think, for that one, of course, you would have to replace the bearing if it's used. But you can easily put out 400 horsepower on these motors. People have done more on these BMW motors. People have done 500-600 on a stock motor for a bit, and then having to rebuild. But it's very reliable, 500 and under, which is with these light BMWs. Once you remove a few things, lessen the weight, they become perfect dailies, honestly. Like, I daily mine the way it is right now. The original 4-cylinder automatic made like 100 to the wheels, and now I'm making about 200 to 220 from the stock M54 B30. I just have my equal length headers to equal length wide pipe to 3-inch straight out, with 2 resonators and a muffler. And then I just have a regular intake. And yeah, I mean, a very basic tune for my friend Pimmers by Dave. Shout out to him. He's helped me along the way with all my builds, and he's very educated in cars in general, building them. He's a great builder. And same with Hyde, great at building there's these supercharger kits and getting them to people and helping everyone out. So that was the unboxing of the supercharger kit. As you can tell, it's not a lot of components. It's very it's perfect for you DIYers. This kit for installing should take you, in my personal opinion, probably a couple to a few hours, maybe 2 to 5 hours, depending on how educated you are and doing your own work. This pretty much just removing the bolting from the alternator, installing the brackets, removing the serpentine belt, putting the extra pulley on the power steering pump, mounting everything, running the silicone kit for the supercharger, throttle body. You could definitely take your time with it. The most timely part of it will be relocating the power steering reservoir. You will have to relocate that. If you have a regular E36 with the OBD2 Sino Vanos, relocating it, you won't have to because it's already underneath the behind the alternator, underneath the manifold. If you are dual Vanos, E46 motors or anything like that, E39, you will have to move the reservoir to a new location. I will make a video about how I relocate it. There's plenty of mounting points on the block of these motors that you can use to make a bracket and mount it. So I'm looking forward to making a bracket for it, something where I can still get to it easily. And then I do have to replace my hoses for that power steering system anyways. They are leaking, so I will get to that as a preventative maintenance to make sure that everything's running top notch. And I'm looking forward to making a video about installation, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys all the steps of doing it. Thank you for watching my unboxing of the Hyde Motorworks supercharger kit, Harbinger. And thank you to Hyde Motorworks again for making my dream come true and supercharging my 1997 318 Ti California edition. I've always wanted to go supercharger for my cars for a long time, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it now with this specific car, which is they sold about 2,000 of these California editions in America, and mine also has the original M-Tech body kit from the factory. It did have M-Tech interior, but I did replace those with new leather, Vader seats and such. And I'm working on the door panels right now as well, so I can have the full door panels done. And I'm just looking to make this a great one-of-one car, all around solid. And I'm hoping to show you guys, my work as a person and also as a mechanic who enjoys creating cars, from our dreams. Everyone has a dream for a car and they want to create it. So I'm looking forward to show you guys my dream, and maybe hopefully in the future helping out other people in creating their dream. Thank you for watching. I will put discount code, all information of how to get to Hyde Motorworks, and links for the boost gauge and the bypass valve or circulation valve, and any other components that I do have for this. I will put links for everything, and hope to see you guys soon.